You're right, get your notebooks out please, and at the top we are going to write financial
Notebooks or?
notebooks. Can you all read that, or do I need to make it bigger? Bigger.
Are you recording now?
Yep.
Yay! I say so.
Alright, so I understand it's exciting, but just as you would in a normal lesson, can you write down financial applications of percentages, please?
You should have told us.
Yeah, you should have told us when you were recording.
No, it's all good.
I think recording people without telling them is perhaps a little illegal.
Me.
Really?
Probably.
But you're not recording our
Especially
faces.
since an adult's doing it.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not recording your faces.
Oh, wait.
So, what we're going to do... Thank you, Mason. We're going to start off by writing some definitions. So, under your header, could you please write cost price? And then a little further down, leave 2 lines, write selling price.
Is it like right after each other, or do we have to like put spaces in?
Put a couple of spaces in between, and then leave a bigger space under profit. We're going to write a little bit about profit. You might be able to fit in 1 space. You should be fine.
What are we learning after percentages? Next time.
Algebra. And we'll start that on Monday.
Oh, you said this was the last class.
Yeah, for
Percentages.
This is the last bit of percentages you'll learn. It is not the last topic of maths.
No.
don't we have to like learn it next year?
Yes, percentages will keep coming up.
You said that a week.
Alright, everybody got all the titles and rules up nicely?
Maybe.
No.
No.
Give me.
Alright, so cost price is the price a shop pays for its goods. So imagine you're a shop, and you know how shops have to buy in. So supermarkets will buy in food, they'll buy in jars, they'll buy in toys, stationery. The cost price is what the supermarket pays, or what the shop pays. Or the cost price is how much it costs a company to produce an item. Okay? So how much it costs Toyota to build a car would be the cost price of the car. Alright? What I'd like you to do is try write your own definition for the cost price down. Okay, write what the company pays. It has to be something that you understand.
Yeah, I understand.
You don't have to use my definition. You're welcome to use your own. Who wants to take a guess what selling price is? Yep. Yeah, the price the company sells for. You can write it in your own words. This isn't like a law in science where there is set wording. You just have to be able to understand the meaning of it. Has anybody heard of markup before? Alright. So, I guess the question is, how do companies make a profit? And companies make a profit by buying, say, take for example my stapler. They might buy my stapler for $5, but then they will sell it for $10. And the difference between those two is called the markup. Okay? And sometimes they mark up using percentages. So they might buy my stapler for $10 and then mark it up 40%. So they'll increase the price of my stapler by 40% and then sell it. And that difference there is how they make their money. And they need to use percentages like you learnt to on Monday. Yeah? Once again, give your own definition a shot. Don't look at mine, write your own. Now, how many of you actually have room up near your selling price section? Something small. So we can say the selling price is equal to the cost price and then plus the markup. Makes sense? So what it's sold for is equal to what the company buys it for plus the amount they add on.
We have to write that under selling price.
Yeah. If you've got room. If not, write it off to the side in a margin. Alright, judging by your weekend posters, you all do, well, lots of you do shopping. So what's a discount then? No, Tim.
It's how much the company takes off from the original price. For example, when they're in sale, they'll decrease the price.
And what original price would they be using? Would they be using the cost price or the selling price?
Selling price.
Good. Well done. And why do they do it? Why do they decrease the selling price? Well,
To get rid of stock.
yeah, or
To
get more customers. Well done. Both answers. So the amount, the selling, or we should say original selling price. Yes.
Why do companies make it more? Can't they just like have it the same? Because if they buy it for $5 and then they sell it for $5, they'll be getting that money back.
They will, but remember it costs companies money to pay staff, to pay for electricity, to pay for the buildings.
Instead of making more money than what they actually pay.
Yeah, and remember they want to make a profit too, because the people that own the companies want to make a profit. So that's why they put the markup on. That's how they make a profit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And talking about profit, that's where we've reached now. What is the profit for a company? Yeah.
So money they've made. Don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Like if when they marked it up, the money that was different, like how much they made.
Good. Good. Yeah.
it's like the increase of like, for example, if they bought the product for $5 and they sold it for $7, and they sold one of those products, their profit would be $2 because it's the difference between how much they bought it for and how much they're selling it for.
Yes, well done. We have another hand. Go for it.
Like the markup prices, like you added them over a certain period of time.
Yeah, so we can talk about it as per one item, like Niantic was. So the $2 for that one item, or over a period of time, they might sell many of those items and gain a big profit. So we actually use a little equation where our profit is equal to the profit in dollars. So for example, if my staple was bought for 5 and sold for 7, then the profit in dollars would be 2. So that equals profit in dollars. And I'm sorry I'm not neat with this.
Is it just like writing?
Yeah, it's just like writing, but not, because it's on a screen.
Oh.
Profit in dollars divided by the cost price. And that will give us a fraction, or a decimal. And then how do we convert a decimal into percent? Yeah? Good one, times by 100. So quite often we talk about profits in percent terms. I made a 30% profit this quarter. Just like they talk about discounts in percent. So there's a 50% discount or 30% off, exactly. We quite often use percents when working with financial things. Now this is, yeah?
Wait, is that a times or a divide?
That's a times. Yeah. However, this equation shows us the profit as a percentage of the cost price. If we wanted the profit as a percentage of the selling price, we would write profit in dollars over the selling price times 100. Yes. So either we calculate our profit as a percentage of the cost price or as a percentage of the selling price. So take our stapler example. Yeah? Stapler. That looks like a B. Stapler.
It's true, you might really messy with these.
I am messy with these things.
Is it the way you hold your pen?
Possibly. The stapler's bought at $5. You can all understand it.
With the at thing.
What? Oh, you can tell what it is.
Maybe it was.
Yeah, it's in.
Alright.
I'll shut up.
Good. So if we were going to find this profit as a percentage of the cost price, and the questions will ask whether they want it as a percentage of the cost price or a percentage of the selling price. Yes?
You write that way, it's staying for
Yeah. Bought.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's an example. You're used to writing examples down.
Before the 5,
At. It's an at symbol. So it's bought at $5. So as a percentage of the cost price,
See, that's what you call an at.
know what it is.
It's top to the bottom.
watching on the board, so as a percentage of the cost price, it would be $2, because that's the profit in dollars, divided by the cost, multiplied by 100 to get it into percent. And that will give us a 40% profit. However, if we want profit as a percentage of our selling price, then we still have $2 profit. However, it's over 7 because that's the selling price times 100.
Wait, I missed that. Because I was writing down.
Alright, sorry.
Where did we get the 2?
The 2 is the difference between the cost price, so CP here, and the selling price.
What we did the other day, the change in the original.
Very good. So this is like percentage change. However, we don't always use the cost price as the original. Sometimes we use the selling price as the original.
Is that CP and SC?
Yes, I realise I've done a bad highlighter there. CP is cost price. SC is selling price. And where's my calculator? 2 on 7's not easy. Alright, now, the remainder of the lesson I'll set you some practice questions. I'll set them so they're short enough that hopefully you can get onto the test revision questions. Alright?
And that will be homework.
And yes, that'll be homework.
Has it finished recording?
No, it hasn't finished recording because the people watching this at home may want to know what
Hey, what's the
questions to
video?
do.
Okay.
What's the video called?
Yeah, how do you do that?
Huh?
What's the video called?
Well, after you-
It'll be called Mr. Budenberg, Year 8,
The day.
Percented Financial, and the date.
You better,
Right, this is the Budenberg
you
year.
better name it like that.
I don't know. 12 and the 3rd.
You're gonna tag it. You're gonna tag it.
You still say
Yeah.
You can just search up this Budenberg and it'll come up, right?
Yes, but it'll come up with all my lessons, so don't watch Year 11 one or you get confused. Watch the Year 8
You never
one.
know, it might come up and
Like
Yeah, it
more
was,
than-
store it, yeah, exactly. Store it on USB when the test comes, just. Wait, what practice questions?
I'm putting them up. These you should be able to do in the lesson.
Okay.
5 questions per lesson. 6 questions per lesson.
Oh my god. Your hair's not long enough to do the